The following program is a public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Views I take.
Call the meeting to order for the Village of Round Lake Beach, our board meeting for Monday, September 28, 2015. Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Here.
Trustee Valdez.
Here.
Trustee Wallace.
Here.
Trustee Butler.
Here.
Trustee Mount.
Here.
Trustee Bennis.
Here.
Mayor Hill.
Here. Let the record show a quorum is present. Shall please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any additions or deletions on the agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Wallace, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Any corrections, clarifications? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda will remain as written. We have approval of the September 14th, 2015 council meeting minutes. Any corrections, clarifications? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Butler, second by trustee Bennis. We have a motion and a second. Any corrections, clarifications?
I didn't think about it.
Again, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those are also approved. We have no expenditures to approve tonight and no ratifications either. So we'll move right into our committee reports. Trustee Mount?
Well, thank you, Mayor. I do have a SWACO report tonight. And for the ones in the public who do not know, SWACO stands for the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County. We have our facility at Estes Street in Gurnee, okay? And so I do have a household chemical waste collection report. Our next mobile collection, and it may be the last one of the year, will be held on Saturday, October 17th in the beautiful downtown of Lake Forest, Illinois. That's at 800 Northfield Drive. It's their public works. And it'll be from 8 o'clock to 2:30 in the afternoon. This event is open to all Illinois residents. That's everyone from Cairo to Jacksonville to Chicago, everybody, all the residents. Can I name some more towns? All over. We also are holding 2 household chemical waste collections at our Estes Street facility in Gurnee during the month of October. So go to swaco.org to reserve your spot. These are free events. Clean out your basements and your garages. And why are you looking at me like that? And
as
we always say,
bring it on.
recycle
first,
No,
trash
no, no,
last.
no,
That's
no,
it,
no.
we're done?
Electronic collections are located in 5 locations throughout Lake County. The closest is on Berry Street in beautiful downtown Grays Lake at the Grays Lake Public Works, which is a nice place to be. It's right off of Route 83 on the north end of town. Pharmaceutical and sharp items, they're located at the Round Lake Beach Police Station during normal business hours. And I'm sure, Dave, we have those business hours as being like 7 to 3:30. You don't want me to get you involved. Okay. Normal business hours for those sharp items and pharmaceuticals. Textiles are collected at the Round Lake Beach Public Works. And for all your solid waste needs, go to swaco.org. And remember, recycle first, trash last. Thank you.
Trustee Mount, I have a question. I know
Yes.
you brought it up before for
I'm
the
glad
residents.
you have one.
Now and then, again, when people do paint their homes,
Yeah.
can you explain the process of where those paint cans have to be
Sure.
deposited?
Well, I'm glad you asked, trustee. Latex paint is actually acceptable to put in the waste stream. At one time, we used to have crushed corn cobs that was available at Ace Hardware throughout the county. It got very expensive, and we had to eliminate that. But you can let it solidify. You can throw those paint cans in the waste stream. So if you bring them, we'll accept them at Household Chemical Waste Collections. But if you go to swalco.org, there is a couple places in the county which will accept it. One being the Village of Lake Zurich has a 24/7 bin in the back, which they will take latex paint. You can get to Lake Zurich by just taking Route 12 south from Raleigh Beach. Thank you. Trustee Husk, have you got a question?
Oh, yeah, there is a chemical, a powder that you can add to paint
Yes.
that will solidify it.
Yes,
Then it's acceptable in any trash.
yes, it is.
We use it at work all the time.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that
if
is
it's
nice.
available at Ace Hardware or some local place like that.
And I'm sure it's very affordable at our beautiful Ace Hardwares.
You just need a
Within
little
like-
bit
Or
of
our
it,
Home
mix it up with the
Depot,
Our
paint.
Home Depot, yeah,
Hardware
exactly.
store.
In the trash.
Yep.
Good, thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate everything.
Thank you.
And trustees being so interested in Swalco. Thank you.
Anyone else have any reports this evening?
Done?
Okay, well, there's only one item on the mayor's
Wait,
report. We have a resolution celebrating the 25th anniversary of the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. This actually came to us a while back. Somehow it got overlooked to get on the board meeting here, so we're going to be doing that tonight. If we could have our clerk please read the resolution.
Whereas nearly 1 in 5 residents of the U.S. have a disability, and whereas the population of people with disabilities is increasing among all age groups, and whereas people with disabilities are more likely to be disadvantaged socially, vocationally, economically, and educationally, and whereas the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law on July 26, 1990 by President George H.W. Bush, and whereas it is appropriate to pause and celebrate, recognize the Americans with Disability Act as a wide-ranging and landmark piece of civil rights legislation that prohibits discrimination based on disability. And whereas in enacting the Americans with Disabilities Act, Congress recognized that persons with disabilities have a history of being subjected to unequal treatment, and that the nation's goals regarding individuals with disabilities are to assure equality of opportunity, full participation, independent living, and economic self-sufficiency. And whereas the ADA has expanded opportunities for Americans with disabilities by reducing barriers and changing perceptions and increasing full inclusion in community life. And whereas despite the great strides that people with disabilities have made as a result of the Americans with Disabilities Act, barriers remain. And whereas the goals of ADA 25 are to foster public recognition that disability is a natural part of the human experience and expand opportunities for people with disabilities to participate fully in civic, social, and economic life of the nation, our state, and our community. Now therefore be it resolved by Mayor Richard H. Hill and the Round Lake Beach Board of Trustees that the most effective way in which to celebrate this milestone 25-year anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act is to reaffirm our opposition to discrimination based on disability and to strive to promote full implementation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And be it further resolved that we encourage the reduction of stigma and discrimination against people with disabilities through education and training. And be it further resolved that we support the pursuit of programs to ensure that the spirit and founding provisions of the Americans with Disability Act are maintained, implemented, and enforced. And there is no higher calling than to recognize the dignity and worth of all people.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
I guess trustee Butler and trustee Mount. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We've been able to add a lot of different sidewalks and do some nice improvements, even in our Lakefront Park with concrete sidewalks down there to allow people in wheelchairs to get through and so forth. This is a lot more than just wheelchairs, but that's some of the things we have been able to do over the last 25 years to help people make it more accessible to people that are wheelchair bound. Is there a clerk's report tonight?
No report tonight, thank you.
Okay, move on to our items of business then. We have item A, is a resolution authorizing and approving an award of contract to Custom Signals, an amount not to exceed $9,648 We need to purchase 2 new video recorders for the new squad cars to go in there. The old ones are not the same as what the newer ones are, so we want to make sure we have all the same system operating together. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Valdez, second by trustee Wallace. Husk? We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Mount. Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
That's approved 6-0. Item B is a resolution authorizing and approving an award of contract to Patented Construction in the amount not to exceed $316,221. We're going to be replacing the water main over on Woodland, and we're also going to be looping it a bit, aren't we, Scott?
That was part of the alternate base bid is the only thing we're
Okay, just the
awarded.
base bid, okay. How many, I know we've had several water main breaks over in that area in the last couple of years,
Over 20.
over 20, yeah.
Yep.
So I thought it was pretty large, so what we're spending here, we're not going to recoup the whole amount very quickly, but with 20 water main breaks, you can imagine what that's cost us. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Motion by trustee Mount, second by trustee Wallace. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Mount.
Aye.
Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
That's approved 6-0. Item C is a resolution approving an addendum to the services agreement with Prescient Development Incorporated for computer network and support services. They've been taking care of our IT and walked us through a lot of main big changes in our village here with the servers and whatnot. And we're going to be continuing on with that contract. Is there anything else to that, Dave?
Reducing down from 5 days a week to
that's
4
right.
days a week service.
And now that we've got a lot of the main parts done, we can cut back a little bit and save some money for the village. Any questions by the board? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Valdez, second by trustee Butler. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Mount.
Aye.
Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye. That's approved 6-0. Item D, an ordinance approving minor changes to a special use permit and final development plan for the property at the southwest corner of Illinois Route 83 and Hook Drive. They're going to be opening up a second Starbucks over in that area, over by Consumers Credit Union, and they need a special use permit for the drive-through. It'd be nice to have a second one over that way. Any questions by the board? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Wallace, second by trustee Bennis. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Mount.
Aye.
Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
That's approved 6-0. Item E is an ordinance approving minor changes to a special use permit and final plan unit development plan for the Myers store at the northeast corner of Rollins Road and Miller Creek Drive. Speaking of Starbucks, Myers wants to change one of their fire doors into a full-service door for a Starbucks kiosk that'll be inside there and move some of their signage over that way to identify what's actually in that location. I think it's a great addition to the whole development over there, and look forward to that also, even though I'm not a big Starbucks drinker, but I know a lot of people are, like my kids are. Any questions by the board? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Oh, boy.
Second.
I have no clue.
I think it was Chuck.
I think it was a tie. That's fine. Trustee Mount.
Trustee Mount and trustee Butler? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Mount.
Aye.
That's approved 6-0. Item F is a motion to approve a waiver of conflict of interest for the transfer of property from the Park District. I believe we're both using the same attorney firm in this.
Yes.
Want to speak to that?
I apologize, this was not in your committee packet. Adam Simon from my firm represents the Park District as their primary attorney. Adam has occasionally done work for the village, typically on cell tower and cable issues. But Adam and I had worked out the legal terms of the intergovernmental agreements that's in your packet based upon, or that are in your packet based upon the negotiations of the village administrator and the executive director of the Park District. we need to ask the board and their board to waive a conflict of interest under the rules of professional conduct, because we both work at the same firm. So if there are questions, I would be happy to take them, and I apologize it wasn't in your committee packet.
Any questions by anyone on the board? Is this a transfer of property? I don't think there's too much that could go really out of order with this. And I do trust Scott's firm to make sure that both the Park District and the village are fairly represented in this.
And Mayor, if I may ask a question, what should I do on this one? Because it's,
You've typically recused yourself
yes, so
from all
I may do that
Park
again, please?
District. You may.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved?
Motion by trustee Mount, second by trustee Wallace. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler. Okay. Trustee Mount. Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
That's also approved 5-0. Okay.
Thank you.
Item G is an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of certain property from the Round Lake Area Park District and authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Round Lake Beach and the Round Lake Area Park District for wetland and site maintenance. We'll be accepting a detention area that was originally deeded to the Park District, but at least in my opinion, should have originally been deeded to the village, since it's more of a detention area for stormwater than it is any kind of a wetland that the Park District normally takes care of. Any questions by the board? Well, I'd like to thank the Park District for working with us on this, and Mr. Cobain for all his efforts to make this thing a reality. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Give the trustee Bennis and trustee Wallace. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez. Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
And just for the record, I will say that I work for the Round Lake Area Park District, and because of that, I am recusing myself from voting on this. Thank you.
Trustee Mount.
Aye.
Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Okay, that's also approved 5-0. Item H is a motion to approve the 2015 tax levy determination. A couple of years ago, we consolidated our property tax categories, so they wouldn't be quite so many. We didn't need to have all those different line items on there. But with the way the state is making some changes, we feel that it'd be nice to go back to the categories we had, and want to make sure we get that in line now, and we always make any amendments we need before December 15th, or right around there. We'd like to get this in place now, so we aren't stuck in case the state makes any major changes that will affect us in a negative way. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Valdez.
Second.
Second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
And it should, the motion and the minutes should reflect that the tax levy estimate is $2,605,558.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Mount. Trustee Bennis.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved 6-0 also. That was our last item of business. Now it is open to public participation. Anyone has a question or comment for the board, please come to the microphone, give your name and address for the record, and either state your comment or ask your question. Thank you very much. We do not have any executive session tonight. Oh, we do have executive
We
session
do
tonight.
have, oh,
No?
I thought we did.
You're real sure on that? Okay.
I thought we did.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. No, I'm sorry. I'm just teasing. I'll adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.